Hey y'all, happy Aquarius season. You guys, if you're watching the YouTube version, I would honestly recommend clicking out and going and watching the Spotify or Apple Music because I look so disgusting right now, okay? I was babysitting my nephews all day today. It's Monday. It's 5:01 p.m. It is about to be my bedtime. I'm about to take my magnesium, so I'm gonna go to bed. So this is a little late night taycrums episode, okay? So just don't look at me if you're watching the YouTube. I'm just looking across the desk and busted. I did put on some mascara for you guys. I'm so cordial. Wanted to get that out of the way. So I do apologize. I'm not giving slay. But yeah, I babysat my nephews today. Tomorrow is my last day before my wisdom tooth surgery on Wednesday, which you guys know I have not shut the fuck up about for weeks now. So you guys are probably so sick of hearing about it. But I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so nervous and scared. I can't help it. And it's actually dictating my life. It's actually a big life event for me because I feel like my new year hasn't even been able to start because I've had it looming over me, you know? So I feel like February. I also love February. I love Aquarius season. I just feel like things always get better in February and in Aquarius season. So I'm so ready to get this surgery done on Wednesday and then recover and then just go on with my life and go on with my year with no worries in the world. So tomorrow will be my last workout. I didn't get to work out today because I had to go to my sister's super early this morning. But tomorrow will be my last workout before I can't work out for I don't even know how long. Who knows? I've heard some people say they couldn't eat chips for 2 weeks. That they couldn't do stuff for 2 weeks. And I'm girl, why? And then other people are this girl DM'd me and she was I literally went out to the club the same day. And I was like, damn, girl. Okay. So I don't know how long my recovery is going to be, so I'm very stressed. But I'm still getting this podcast episode up for you guys. You are so welcome. Actually, I had someone DM me. And if you're probably listening to this because you DM me, but you're like, Taylor, is there a podcast episode coming today? And I was like, someone actually gives a fuck about my podcast? I was like, I also lost a nail. This one right here, my nephew, he was he always compliments my nails. He's 4 years old. He was like, I like your nail. He's like, I like your nails. He's like, ooh, I like your nails. And I was like, yeah. He was like, I want some like that. And I was like, I don't think they make them for your crusty little kid hands, but I was like, I know. And then he was like, he calls me out, 4-year-old. He goes, why doesn't that one have a nail? I'm like, really? I'm like, you really had to say that? I'm like, yeah, it popped off because when I was driving here this morning. So it's your fault. No, I didn't say that. No, I did lose a nail. And I think that these nails are honestly, I think that I've had them on for almost a month, you guys. I think I put them on December 28th. It's been almost a month. I'm obsessed with them. I don't want them. They're from Glamnetic. They're silver. They're so cute. I don't want to take them off. But I think that they're going to come off possibly tomorrow. I know that this one's a little bit wiggly. It's about to pop off. And I think that we might just have to take them off tomorrow before my surgery. And then I can let my nails have their little healing moment while my surgery is healing. And then we can put a new set on. But I love these ones. They're so cute. Anyways, so let's get into our State of the Union for the week. First of all, a new habit that I am doing. This wasn't even a New Year thing. I just randomly thought of it the other day. I was like, I really need to fucking stretch. Because I stretch at the gym. Okay, obviously after my workout, I'll stretch a little bit. But I was a cheerleader and I'd be I like to stretch my splits and do a straddle stretch, and I feel really uncomfortable doing those in the gym, so then I just don't do them. And then I literally was oh my god, I literally haven't done my splits in a month because I only stretch at the gym, and I'm not gonna just bust open into a split at the gym. So I was I need to do bedtime stretching at home, so I can do all my stretches, my old cheerleader core stretches, so I can still do that stuff. So bedtime stretching is the new vibe. So I'm gonna try to do that. But then it's I gotta bust out the yoga mat, it's so much work, but I think I need to start doing that too. And I also just feel it's very relaxing. I could drink my magnesium drink, I could have my red light mask on, I could be reading in my straddle stretch. That's a nighttime vibe if I've ever heard of one. So bedtime stretching is the new vibe. Speaking of that, I also want to make sure that I'm stretching so I can be nice and limber for y'all, because we all know Pilates live classes are coming out in February, okay? I think that you guys are going to hear this. I don't know if this is confirmed yet, but I think I might do the first class, depending on how my surgery goes, on February 2nd. It's a Friday, and I just love that date, 2224. Oh, what a fucking day. I wish I could get married on the day. And it's also Groundhog Day, which is a really fun holiday. I love Groundhog Day. But I love, you guys, I love dates that are even numbers. And I think it's because my birthday is the epitome of perfect even numbers. It's 10, 22, 98. Oh, how perfect is that? So I loved it. I have to get married. I cannot get married in July, 7, the month, ew, or September, 9, ew, I'm gonna have to be June, August, October, but I don't want it to be in my birth month. Honestly, I've always liked a February wedding. Ever since I saw it, this is so fucking random. I saw it on Full House. Didn't Uncle Jesse and Aunt Becky, didn't they get married on Valentine's Day? in the show. I think that something, I don't know, there's something about that, and I was like, I want to get married like in February, that'd be so cute, and then it'll be a 2, and then I would have to get married on an even year as well. Like, I couldn't do like 2027, like, ew, that's so gross. I have like this thing with like even dates. Anyway, so I wanted to do my first Pilates live class for the month on 2/2/24. Like, fuck yeah. And I love today too. It's the 22nd of January. I love the 22nd of every month. One, because it's my birth month anniversary. You know what I mean? Like 10/22, but I just love the 22nd of the month. And then it's like, oh, I want 22/24. Oh, I love that. So, but that's not confirmed. But I'm just like, I want to do it on that day because it's 2/2/24, whatever the fuck it is. Anyways, so Pilates classes, I want to be doing like at least 4 classes a week, like from now on, like period, and if not more. Okay, so that's coming out in February, and then I've also have been posting 10 days of Pilates on my TikTok. I posted 2 days so far, but I'm doing like a little countdown until the live classes start, because there's about 10 days until that February 2nd, and I also needed content to post while I'm going to be recovering from my wisdom teeth, because again, I don't know how long that's going to take, so I have pre-filmed like all of these Pilates moves, and it's a bunch of different moves. It's abs, glutes, and it's like really beginner, like very, very beginner exercises that I feel like literally my grandma could do. She's like 85. And then also like, you know, normal, like intermediate, you know, regular Pilates moves. So I'm really excited to be posting those as well, so you guys can kind of learn the moves and kind of get acclimated to it before we jump into the live classes. So that's really fun. Also, Pluto moved into Aquarius, what was it, like 2 days ago or something, and like Pluto only moves into a sign every like 20 or like 15 or 20 years or something. So this is like a big thing for me, okay? So I'm really hoping this is going to bring good vibes into my life in 2024, okay? And it was so weird because the same day that Pluto moved into Aquarius, I had this like fucking awakening. Like I had this awakening, and like I'm not like a planner person. Like I think I've talked about this before. Like I know like the vibe of my life. Like I know what vibes my life is gonna have, but I don't know like the exact way to get there or exactly what I want to do at what time. And, you know, I'm not like a planner like that. I'm just like, I'll let the vibes take me there. Like wherever life takes me, I'll go. You know, I'm kind of like that mentality, which is actually so fucking weird because you guys know I'm an absolute psycho with my like routines, like on a daily basis. I just feel like if you attack I'm like going into a rant now. I just feel like if you attack every day, like it doesn't matter about the future or the past, you attack the day in front of you. And if you put your all into today, it's going to create a good future. You know what I mean? And I think that that's always been my mindset. It's like, I can't control like in 10 years from now or even in 2 months from now. Like all I can control is today. So if I make the best of every day, like in the present, I'm going to have a good future because I've been making I've been making the most of the present. Why was that kind of Gandhi? Like that was kind of Gandhi of me. So I've never really like planned my future, but like a couple days ago, I just had this like whoosh, like come over me, and I literally wrote it on my board. I like wrote like, I have like a plan for like every year up until, not every year, but like every year, like the next 5 years. And then I have like, okay, in 10 years, this is what I'm gonna do. And then in 30 years, I literally have like in 30 years stuff that I want to do. And I was like, where the fuck it was all like buried deep in my brain back there. It was all buried deep back in my brain, like in my subconscious thoughts, but I never really like wrote it down into like a schedule. And I literally have like the next 30 years like written on my board right now. So I can look at it, because I'm a person, like if I can't see it every day, I will forget about it. Like I have to see, that's why I write down my goals in my journal every single day, because if I forget, it gives me like a purpose. Because I'm like, okay, because sometimes, you know, you get caught up in life and you're just like, what am I even like working towards? Like, what am I even doing all of this for? So writing down my goals every day in my journal really helps me be like, okay, yeah, this is what you're working for. Like, this is why you're doing all of this stuff, because you want this. So I always write down my goals in my journal every day, because if I don't, I will literally forget them. I'll be like, wait, like, what did oh yeah, I forgot that I wanted to do that. Like, it's actually like, I don't know what it is, but I always do that. So I need everything in front of me at all times, or else I will forget. Like, even if it's something that I like really want to do, I will forget about it. Like I wasn't writing, because you guys know I want to go to like New York, and I want to go to New York Fashion Week. That's been like my dream for so long, New York Fashion Week, and then I want to go to California. I like hadn't been writing that in my agenda or in my plan, in my journal for like a couple of weeks, and then I was like, dude, I totally forgot that I wanted to, and like I've wanted to go there for a decade now, you know, and I completely forgot that that was one of my goals. Like, do I have an issue? Like, is anyone else like this? Like, I have serious issues. Anyways, okay, so what was I even talking about? Yeah, so I like wrote out my 30-year plan for my life, and I was like, period, and I was just like feeling so good. And then that's when I sparked the 10 days of Pilates idea, and I was like, period, queen. Like, I was just like feeling kind of good, which is like kind of crazy. I kind of had a good week. I didn't cry that much, did I? I forget. Well, it's a Monday. Anyways, I really want to pop off my nails right now. Like, you know, when you just get the urge and you're just like, fuck, I just want to, should I do it? No, I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to let the next one, when the next one, whatever is the next one that falls off, then I'm going to pop them all off. Okay. Anyways, that's all for our State of the Union. Let's move into the topic of the episode, which this is like such a, I don't know, again, I think I had this, like, I think that I was like thinking about this stuff when I had this like epiphany when Pluto moved into Aquarius the other day. But I've never like, I don't even know where I got this idea, but I was just thinking about, you know, everyone has like, you know, it's like when people say, oh, like in another life I was this, or like, oh, if I could redo everything, like if there, you know, if no like economic or like financial things like got in the way, I would have done this with my life. Like, it's kind of like who we would have been in like different lives, you know? And I was just thinking about how like everyone has that, like everyone has like that dream life that's almost like they're unrealistic. You know, when you ask someone like what their dream job is and they're like, oh, like my realistic dream job, or like my dream, like unrealistic job. Like I feel like everyone has that like side of them where it's like if all these life factors and like finances and like where you were born and like how you were raised and stuff like didn't matter, like you would live this different life. And I was just thinking about it and it was so interesting, and I wanted to kind of like share mine and like what mine would be, because I feel like that like that's such a good like conversation starter question. I feel like if you're like out with friends or like at like a dinner party or even like on like a date, I don't know, I just feel like it's such a cool question. It really like gives you a lot of information about that person that like you might have not even known, though you may have known them for like a long time. Like it's not something that we like talk about, and I feel like we should talk about this more. It's like so interesting and cool to like hear what people's like deep down like unrealistic like dream passions are. And I just wanted to share mine with you guys because it is something that I do like still want to do in a way somehow in my life. And that's where I was thinking like my 30-year plan. And it's like crazy. It's really crazy how like I'm 25 and like I feel like a lot of people like that's when you start to get like old, is like when you're like 25, like 26, like late 20s, you're kind of like old, like in society's terms, you know, or you start to feel old at least like after you turn 21 and 22 and you're out of college. But it's like we have like so, you know, like obviously like God willing, like we have so much life left. Like say we live, I want to live until I'm over 100. I've always wanted to live until I was 104. But like we have so much life left, and like you can start something when you're 60, you know what I mean? Like you can start something when you're 50. I kind of felt overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I want to do all of this stuff and like I have to do it in my 20s or else I'm a failure, you know? And it's like, girl, like you can do something, like you can do the half of it for the next 20 years and then do the other half of it, you know, when you're 50, 60, 70, like you can, and especially if I keep, you know, that's why I focus so much on health. Cause like, I want to be so healthy when I'm old. Like I want to be like healthy and going and like still learning and doing stuff when I'm old. So like, I want to like increase my longevity so I can have more time to do all this stuff and accomplish all my goals. So that's why, again, that's like another motivator for me for like being like so healthy and so conscious of my health, because I want to live like a long life and be able to do like a bunch of stuff. So I don't know. And I would love to hear your guys' too, if you wanted to like share what yours are, like DM me on Instagram or something, and just like, I don't know, or maybe like ask people like in your life that you are like friends with maybe, or like even like your parents. I feel like that'd be a cool question. I should actually ask my mom and dad that. Like, I don't think I've ever asked them that, like what they would have done with their lives. Like if they could have chosen anything, like I've never asked them that. I just feel like maybe ask someone in your life that, because I feel like it's such a cool question. Anyways, I'm going to get into mine, and I'm really excited to share this with you guys because I feel like it does like I said, like just share a part of someone that like you wouldn't have known otherwise. And I just feel like I haven't really told you guys a lot of this stuff, so I'm excited to share it. So growing up, I actually did dance classes when I feel like every little girl did dance classes when I was like 3-4 years old, you know, and my sister did them. You guys know my sister is 13 years older than me, so she's like quite a bit older, and she was in dance too. So we would just go together to the same studio, whatever. I don't know, I barely remember. I only remember like pictures, you know, when I was little because I was so little. And then my sister switched to doing cheerleading when she got into high school, I think. And then I was like, of course, I wanted to be like my big sister, like every little sister does. So I was like, oh, like I'm going to do cheerleading too. Like my sister quit dance, so I'm going to quit dance. I was literally 5. Like, I don't even know how I was making these decisions. I don't remember any of this. I'm just assuming. And I was like, well, I'm going to do cheer too. And then I ended up doing like, you know, our little cheer program. Nothing like really serious. When I was like, I don't know, probably 6 years old, I did cheer. And then I did soccer from kindergarten until 10th grade. And soccer became like my like sport. Like I kind of like dropped the cheer thing throughout elementary school. And then so I was doing soccer in elementary and that was kind of like my sport. But then when I got into 7th grade and I got to like middle school, I like got into cheer again. And I was like, oh, like I want to do the cheer team. I don't even know how this, I think my mom was just like, oh, like now that you're in middle school, like are you going to do cheer now? Cause like our school like had a team, you know, obviously in elementary school, you don't have like a cheer team at your elementary school. And I was like, yeah, like I guess like that's what my sister did. You know, I might as well do that too. Like I'm just going to do whatever she did. And so I stopped doing soccer in 10th grade and I just did cheer and I loved cheer. Like don't get like cheer made me like like it gave me like my friend group in high school. Like it gave me so much discipline. It gave me my work ethic. Like it taught me so much and I loved it so much. But if I could go back, like, if I could go back to, like, when I was a little kid, like, I would have done dance, like, 1,000%. Like, that is, like, I don't want to call it, like, a regret or anything, you know, obviously, because, like, whatever, everything happens for a reason. But, like, I wish I would have done dance so badly and just like continue. Obviously I was like 5 or 4 years old when I quit dance. Like I didn't have any control over it, you know, really. I wasn't obviously thinking about this. I wasn't like thinking about my future at 4 years old. But if I would have stayed in dance, like I have these dreams of just being like, I like watch Dance Moms like growing up, like I would like record it on our DVR and then rewind Maddie's solo like 50 times until I learned the whole thing. And I just wish I really wish I did like dance team in like high school instead of cheer. And then I think I definitely would have. I didn't want to cheer in college because cheer just genuinely like I wasn't like naturally good at it. Like I don't know. Like I honestly just think that I was meant to do dance instead. Like I definitely would have probably danced in college and like done, you know, like dance team in college and stuff. And like I don't even know. Like I feel like I could have gone like so much farther in my life with that and just been so much better at dance than I was at cheer. Cause like I had to try like so hard to be like back corner in cheer. Like I was trying, like I did not have a natural inclination to that, but I feel like I've always been naturally very inclined to do dance. So one thing I would have done in my life is definitely have done dance like throughout my childhood and then into high school, into college. And I've always also dreamed, like, I love, like, ballerina stuff. Like, I watch, like, Day in the Life of a Ballerina, like, all that stuff on YouTube. Like, I've watched, like, the documentaries on Netflix. I know they've had stuff. I think that is so fascinating. My dream is literally to see the Nutcracker Ballet and Swan Lake, like, in New York City, like, the show. I don't know why I'm fascinated by that stuff. I love classical music. Like I love like all the music from like the Swan Lake and stuff and Nutcracker. And I just love like the dedication and like just like everything that goes into like being a ballerina. I feel like it's so like intense and like it's beautiful and I just love it. And so yeah, I think like if I could redo my life, I definitely would have been a dancer. And if I feel like the ballerina thing, like it would go with like New York. If I was like in New York, like a ballerina in New York, you know, like that's so like cool. I don't know, like that would have definitely been one of my like past life things or like one thing I'm gonna do like in my next life. I have to be a dancer. But like by the time I realized it, like I feel like I realized it in like 2014 or 15, but like by that time I was already so deep in my cheer career. I was like, what? Like I can't like switch now, you know, I can't like switch and go be on the dance team now. Anyways, so that's definitely one of my like life dreams that I would pursue in a different life. Another thing, I also did apply to a fashion, what was it from? Fashion merchandising. It was at Kent State University, which probably no one even knows what that is. It's in Ohio. Like it's, I don't know why. I think I actually did apply to it. I don't even remember if I got in or anything, but I applied to a fashion merchandising program at Kent State University in frickin' Ohio. And I was like gonna transfer again. This was like my freshman year when I was like wanted to transfer. So I think that definitely like I've always had like this like calling in me to like work in fashion. Like I really thought I was gonna transfer and go to school for fashion merchandising. Like that's really like what I wanted to do. I've always had like thing for fashion like my whole life. And I think that definitely, and you guys know I also majored in communication and journalism when I was in college. And I've always just like wanted to, and ever since I saw Devil Wears Prada too, like I just wanted to work at a fashion magazine like so badly. And like I still do. Like if someone offered me a job in New York City to work at a fashion magazine literally right now, I would 1,000% take it and I would go move and I would go do it. Like I want to do that like so badly. And I just don't think that at this point in my life I've really set myself up to like go and do that now. So I don't feel like it's very realistic, but like if I could have like started over, like I could have possibly looked into doing that. Like it's hard because like when you're so young, when you have to make these decisions about your life, you know, and it's like, I don't know what I like, you know, now looking back, I'm 25 now. When I was 17, deciding where I wanted to go to school and stuff, I obviously can look back and think, oh, I like probably would have liked this more. I could have like set myself up better for this, you know, but obviously there's nothing we can do about it. But I think like looking back, I probably would have gone to a school. I don't even know, because I like my life now, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say because it's like, this is my life now, like, and I like my life, and I'm so happy with like the way that my life has turned out. And I feel like the life that I live right now is one of those dream lives that I was like, man, you know, that I had in my mind. Like I had, you know, everyone has like a few like life paths that I feel like they could have taken. I feel like what I'm living now is definitely one of my life paths where it's like, this is like something that I was destined to do, you know? But yeah, I definitely feel like another one could be like me working in fashion journalism, like in New York City. Like I like working at fashion shows, like Fashion Week. Like I love that stuff so much. And I feel like maybe I also was going to be an interior designer. Like when I was in all my life, basically that was like my little kid, like dream job was an interior designer, probably from when I was like in like, you know, first or second grade up until I think in 10th grade or 9th grade is when I realized like interior designers don't make a lot of money. I had a very, and then I go to school for communication. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, they don't make a lot of money. Like whatever. Like, oh girl, you literally majored in communication. But, I think that I didn't have a full grasp. Again, it's like, it's hard to make these decisions when you're freaking 15 years old, making career decisions for the rest of your life, you know? But like, I didn't really understand like the full thing of an interior designer and like what it was. And like, I didn't know, you know, we barely even had social media then, you know, I didn't know if I could go back. Honestly, I might have been an interior designer. Like I'm really thinking of all these alternative routes I could have taken. Like I definitely, I think I would have went into interior design over fashion actually. I just like the glamness of fashion, like the Devil Wears Prada-esque of like fashion, like that really like, you know, gets me. But I think I actually, interior design was like my shit. Like it all, like I would watch HGTV. I watched every fucking episode of every show. Like I love that. And like even now, like I would love to work in interior design, but like my little 15-year-old brain in like, you know, 10th grade or whatever was like, oh, like they don't make a lot of money. Like, and I don't want to like, I think that my logic was like, I don't want to design people's houses. If they say, you know, I go to Mary's house and Mary wants to do, you know, what's it called? What's that thing called? Like farmhouse? Modern farmhouse or whatever it is. I don't know what that style is. That's like not my vibe, you know? And I'm like, well, I don't want to design modern farmhouse for Mary. Like I want to design what I want to design. And I was like, you know what? I can just design my own house one day. Like I don't think I need to do it for other people's houses. I just want to like, you know, I like interior design, but for my own house, not for other people's houses. And now like looking back, I'm like, girl, like you could have done interior design for like, this is like my dream actually, like interior design for like a hotel. Like now like looking back, I would have 100% probably went into interior design and then done like something like not like house. I didn't realize that you could do interior design for like not people's houses, and you can do it for like corporate offices or like hotels and stuff like that. Like I definitely probably, if I knew that at that age, I probably would have gone into it. But I remember I was like at a career fair and I was like learning about the interior design thing, and I was like, you know what, this isn't for me. I was like, never mind. And then I just didn't know what I was going to do. And that's why I went into communication, because I still really didn't know what I was going to do, except I knew that I really loved writing and like creativeness. So that's why I did the communication and journalism. But yeah, I think if I could go back, there's just so many different things that I would have done, but I do love interior design, and that would have been really, really fun. And I probably really would have liked that. Interior design, fashion, I would have loved any of that. I really want to go back now. I really wish that's like one of my dreams, like to design a hotel. Like, I don't know how that's ever going to happen in my entire life, but if I could ever design a hotel, like interior design, oh my God. Like, that's like my dream. I love that. I also love hotels. Like, I read this book called The Plaza by Julie Sato, and it's a book about the Plaza Hotel, and it was just so fascinating. You know, like the most random things fascinate you, and you're like, why am I so fascinated by like hotels? Like, it's so random, but I don't know, it's just always been like a thing with me. Like, I just love hotels, and like I just think that they're so cool. Anyways, I would love to do that one day, but how am I gonna do that? I don't know. I also would love to do interior design also for like apartments and stuff, like apartment buildings or stuff, like design, like, you know, the kitchens and stuff. Like, oh, I would love that. But again, my 15-year-old brain did not know that an interior designer could do that. Next one, and this is like the last one, unless I think of like 10 more things, but it's kind of funny because like they're all really like correlated, and like I'm just like, oh my god, like I don't know, it's just like so cool to like explore your brain in this way, you know what I mean? Like, and like really think like, what would I have done if there was like no bounds of like what I could do, you know? But this last one, I remember, again, I told you guys one of my favorite movies was Legally Blonde, so of course we all had the dream of being a lawyer, you know, like Elle Woods, of course. And I definitely had that. Like, I remember like looking up law schools. Like my sister's a nurse, so she went to like, she was in like nursing school. So I kind of like watched her like go through that and stuff. And I remember like going down there and talking to my sister, and I was like, do you think I should do law school? I was probably like, I don't know, a junior in high school maybe. And I was like, do you think I should go to law school? Like, I think I want to be a lawyer. I think I want to go to law school. And I was like looking up law schools and stuff. And I was like, Taylor, like your GPA? Like, I was like, my GPA was pretty bad in high school. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like my grades and like academics were never pushed on me. Like as a kid, I didn't do bad. Like I got like A's and B's. And then I took like some harder, like in my AP classes, I might have gotten like some C's in there. And I think I did get a D in pre-calc. I didn't care. That was my senior year at that point. And I was like, okay, I know that I'm not going to like Harvard or anything. Like I just had to pass pre-calc, okay? Math is not my strong suit, okay? But I did get an assumption when I did that assumptions video, and they were like, they assumed that like I was really good in school and like got straight A's. Like I didn't. I don't know. I just like, it's not that I didn't care. I cared, but I wasn't like, I'm gonna stay up all night and study for this test because I want to go to med school. Like I literally had no, you guys, like I don't know if this is relatable to anyone. Like, I feel like I'm like, it's the only child thing again. Like, I know, like, I watched my sister, like, go to nursing school, but I didn't really understand what it was. And, like, neither of my parents went to college. So, like, I never had, like, grades or, like, academics, like, pushed on me ever. Like, my parents never, they were so, like, my parents were, like, so chill. Like, they never pushed me in sports. Like, they never pushed me academically. Like, I just could really, like, do whatever I wanted to do. And somehow I just, like, didn't get in trouble and, like, didn't do bad things. I was just a good kid. But, like, they never, like, you know, were like, oh, you need to get A's so you can go to this school. You need to get A's so you can get a scholarship. Like, I was never even, like, talked to about any of that stuff. So, like, I just, like, did my best. Like, if I got a B, whatever. Like, if I got a C, like they, I don't even know if they were mad at me when I got a C. I think at that point they were divorced and they like just like didn't really care. I don't even know if I showed them my grades. Like I don't even know if they cared. But they just like knew, I think at that point, like that late into high school, like they just knew that I was doing a good job and they like trusted me to like not fail out of high school, you know? Yeah, like I didn't even know what college was. Like genuinely, like I know that this sounds like so crazy maybe, but like I never was like, oh my god, like I want to be in college and I want to party and I want to drink. Like that sounds so fun. Like, or like, you know, when like seniors and juniors will like go up and like visit like the college people, like if their older siblings like are in college, like I never did that. I had no idea what that was. Like I was so, like my brain was like so innocent and like pure. Like as a kid, like I never drank in high school. I never even went to like a party in high school. I didn't even know that people were drinking and partying in high school. Like I genuinely had no idea that that was even a thing. Like if someone told me that they like smoke weed or something, I was like no. I was like, that's not, I was like, that actually happens. I like I was just like so like, what's it called, like not innocent, but like I had no idea what was going on. Like I didn't know that that stuff was real. Like I didn't know that like people were like having sex and stuff. Like I had no idea. Like I was just so like naive. That's the word. I was so naive to all that stuff. And so like I never even like dreamed about going to college. And like my parents were never like, hey, do you want to go to this school? Like where are you gonna go? I don't know. And I was literally just like, I just knew like my senior year of high school, I was just like, yeah, like I'm probably just gonna go to like a community college, you know? And like I didn't care. Like I didn't want to like go and party or like go to football games and stuff, but like I didn't even like know what that was. And like now, once I was in college, I was like, oh, like all these people, okay, that's why they went away to school, you know? But like, it was just, I don't know. I think like no one really told me about that stuff. And like, I was so naive. I wasn't really involved in like partying and stuff. I don't know. So like, that's why I probably would have tried harder and like went to like a bigger school, or at least had like dreams of going to a bigger school or something. But like I literally like didn't know what it was when I was like growing up. It was just so weird. So I was just like, yeah, like I'm just gonna go to community college. Like I don't know. Is that like so messed up? Like I don't even know if that's weird or not. Anyways, back to what I was saying about law school. So I did like look into like, I like wanted to be a lawyer, of course, because I watched freaking Legally Blonde. But like I actually was like I thought about it for like months and months and months, if not like years. So I definitely think that in another life, I probably, like, I would love to go to, like, an Ivy, obviously, like, this sounds like so, I would love to go to an Ivy League school. I'm probably not smart enough to go to an Ivy League school, but, like, I'm saying, like, in my dream world, nothing else involved, I would love to go, like, I think that they're so cool, like, Harvard, like, you know, I feel like a lot of people would dream of going to, like, Alabama, or, like, something like that, like, a big, like, a big, like, college like that, with, like, sports and, like, sororities and whatever, like, I would go to an Ivy League. Like, I think, like, I don't know, like East Coast prep has always like just like really just like fed my soul. I don't know. So I would love to have gone to like Harvard, like law school. Again, I'm talking like dream life, like not real factors involved, like going to Harvard, going to law school. I also randomly, this is so weird, you guys. And again, like I realized this stuff as I was growing up. Like if I could go back and go to like my community college and just change my major, I don't know, I really like journalism. Again, I don't know, I have so many different things going through my brain, but I really did like journalism. Like, I love journalism. I love journalism. I would love to work in literally, if someone offered me a journalism job right now, I would, like, 99% probably take it and, like, move wherever they needed me. Like, I literally would. I love journalism. But if I could go back and, like, do, like, an economics major, like, I wish I was more interested, like, I took, like, AP Econ. I think I took AP Macro and Micro Econ in high school. I think that's when I started getting C's, is when I started getting into the AP Micro. But, like, why the fuck did I take an AP class? Who the fuck did I think I was, Albert Einstein? No, I was not. I don't even know why I took the class. But I think that that's when I started getting C's my junior year. I've learned, like, as I grew up and, like, as I learned more about, like, the world, you know, I was like, damn, like, economics is, like, really fascinating, and I just wish that I would love to, this is kind of, like, the thing with, like, my 30-year plan, I would love to one day, like, go back, just, because, you know, obviously, like, social media, they're like, social media doesn't last forever, whatever, you know, I would love to go back to school and, like, get my master's or something, or even just, like, another degree and, like, study economics. Like, I just find it to be so fascinating. And then that leads me into, like, this other career that, like, I didn't even know was a thing and, like, knew nothing about until, honestly, like, 2 or 3 years ago. I, like, found out about this and I was like, oh my God. I was like, that is literally exactly what I want to do, and it's like urban planning. If you guys have heard of that before, I literally am like subscribed to like urban planning like YouTube channels, and I watch their videos because I think it's so interesting, and it kind of involves like economics, but it also kind of involves like interior design, because you're like designing like a city. I think it is so interesting, and like especially, you know, nowadays everyone has cars and stuff, and I don't know, I could go on and on about this, but like I watched this video about like the blue zones. Did I talk to you guys about this in my last episode? No, I don't think I did. I watched this podcast from Jay Shetty about this guy talking about the blue zones, and which are like areas in the world where like people live the longest. There's the highest longevity and like highest like happiness and health rates. And they were just saying how like, you know, they have very good like communities, and like, you know, all the cities now are like driving. Everyone's driving everywhere. Like it's all just like roads and highways, and like no one's walking around anymore. You know, nothing is walkable. Like cities aren't walkable anymore. And they were just saying how like people that are in walkable cities live better lives. And that's what they're saying in the Jay Shetty podcast about the blue zones. And they were saying it like, you know, helps like life expectancy because you have more of a sense of community, you're walking more, like, you know, everything like that. So anyways, I would love to one day like study economics and like work in urban planning and like help like redesign or like design cities to be like amazing and like walkable, and like have parks and have like beautiful like greenery, and like just like make it like a beautiful place, instead of, because I feel like when we went through like that whole like housing boom thing, I don't even know what the fuck that was. Like I'm acting like I'm like really smart. Like, you know, like we're just like building houses, like building subdivisions, and like just so quickly, and we're not caring about like how you know the community feels and how the community looks and stuff. And I just feel like, obviously me being a Libra, like I love like aesthetics of stuff, and it's kind of is like interior design, except it's not interior, it's like exterior. It's like the design of a city, and it's almost kind of like architecture and stuff too, which I was interested in too. I did definitely like peek into architecture a bit when I was like deciding what I was going to go to school for. But I don't think I could do that. It's like too much math and like engineering. I that's where I draw the line. I don't do that stuff. I just like the pretty little decorations. Okay. I would love to work in urban planning one day. And like literally like this is like my, like this is like very unrealistic like dream. Like I would love to just like build my own city. Like I think that would be so freaking cool to like, and it wasn't like Elon Musk doing that or something? Elon Musk or some other like rich guy like that was gonna like build his own city or something. Like I would love to do that. I just think that sounds so cool. Like and I don't know. I just always like, because I think about like, it's crazy how like, you know, thousands of years ago, like Rome and like all these cities were built, like someone built that shit. And like it's still standing thousands of years later. And I'm like, I want to build a city. And then thousands of years later, it's still standing. And like, I built that shit. Like, I don't know. I just think that's so cool. Anyways, I would love to work in urban planning, go back to school, go for like something, like, you know, learn about economics and also like the law school thing. Like, I would love to like, I don't think I would ever actually go to law school. Like, especially I watch like Callie Wilson's videos. So like, she's kind of, I'm like, oh, like, I don't know if I can do law school. You know, like that sounds really scary. Actually, a lot of my friends are actually in law school. 2 of my best friends from high school are in law school and one of my friends from cheer is in law school and they're still alive. So maybe, I don't know if I can do it though, but I would love to go to law school because I feel like the law school thing like kind of like goes hand in hand with urban planning and like changing laws and like making stuff, you know what I mean? Like making the regulations for like a city like better and like improving them, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's how like law school can kind of like play into that, but I don't think I would ever, I think I would go back for like a master's or like something with economics. I don't know if I could ever handle the whole law school thing unless I have some really big like life-changing epiphany or something. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could. So I would love to work in urban planning, maybe like redesign a city and just like make cities like better. I would also love to like one day, again, kind of going to like my like interior design, like hotel thing. Like I would love to design like apartments, like an apartment building and make it like, this is like, you guys, like this is like really like this, I was like crying about this the other night because I was thinking about it when I was making my 30-year plan. Like if I could make apartment buildings and not do like, oh, like luxury apartments, like, you know, $3,000 rent for a 1-bedroom. No, I want to make like affordable, safe housing for like families that like really, really like need it. I genuinely could talk for like 20 hours about this, but just like to keep it like short for you guys, I'm like really honestly like really passionate about like kids like getting like an education. Again, I could literally talk about this for 10 years. I want every kid, every child to have like an equal opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, and like some kids are just like stuck in like school districts or like areas that just don't have as good of an education or that are just not safe, or like some kids, yeah, like are in not safe environments and are like, they're around like violence or like drugs, and like no kid like deserves to like be in that situation. Like every kid needs a fair opportunity to succeed, and it just breaks my heart to see children anywhere in America and other countries and stuff that just don't have the opportunity to, some kids, you know, some kids in other countries don't even have the opportunity to read and write, you know, because like they don't have education system, and it just breaks my heart. And I would, if I could just give every kid a safe home, a safe, healthy home with equal access to great education and sports and everything, and just help them be a well-rounded kid, that's what I would do with my life. Obviously that's very, I can't do that as one person, but if I could just make a little impact, I would love to one day have like an apartment building or like a complex, and I would love to like have like a bunch of like families in there that like really needed like affordable housing, and like make it like nice, new, clean, safe space for these people to live. And I would love to like furnish it for them and just give these kids and families like a safe space to like live and to be. And especially like I would love to just help like, you know, like single moms or like stuff like that, or just people that are like stuck in like a bad housing situation. I would just love to like take care of people in that way. And that's like another thing that works with like the urban planning, just like adding in more like affordable housing in like good areas for families that really need it. Okay, I'm popping in here, I'm editing this, but I just wanted to add in like, this is only like what I just said, like I just want to emphasize like how passionate I am about that and how like determined I am in my life to like use like this platform and like the things that I built on social media to like do things like this and like to like make the world a better place. Like this is literally 1% of all the feelings and thoughts and ideas and stuff that I have on this. And I just want you guys to know that like my goal is not to have like 13 designer bags and like YSL shoes and like whatever. Like sure, I might buy like some nice things along the way if I like, you know, do get a lot of money one day, but I feel like I've never really talked to you guys about this before because it's very like close to my heart. And I just like, hopefully one day, like I want to use my platform and like use like the resources that I have from this and like again, I only told you guys like 1% of like my ideas and my thoughts and my feelings about it, but like my CEO at my old company that I used to work for, I'm gonna start crying. He just said to always do right by people and always like do what's best for everyone, like do what's best for the people, and like money will always come like with that, you know, like don't ever focus on getting money, like don't ever make money like your main goal, like always make like helping people and like doing what's best for people like your main goal, and like the money will take care of itself, you know what I mean, like you'll always be taken care of. And I just believe that like so much. And like literally if I ever one day have like 10 Chanel bags, that would be like the biggest failure in my entire life, that I used my money in that way. And I never ever want to use my money. And of course, like I'm not saying like I'm gonna like not buy anything the rest of my life, you know what I mean? Like of course, like I'll buy nice things here and there if I ever do have like the money for that. But like I genuinely, like if I ever have a lot of money or like build this platform up to something like really big, like I want to use it to do stuff like this and just help people, because that is literally like the closest thing to my heart. And that's like why I don't talk about it that much, because it is like so like close to me. And like I don't really talk to anyone. I've literally told like 2 people in my life about that. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys that like my goals with this is never about like, oh, I want to be rich and I want to have a Maserati and a big mansion and I want to buy a Chanel bag and you know what, like stuff like that. Like that's not ever the goal. Like I just hope that I can do that one day. But I just wanted to like add that in there. Like that is always my goal. And like I don't know, I never really told you guys that, and like I guess like I want you guys to know that like my goal and like what I'm thinking of at the end of the day, I'm never thinking about like, oh my god, like I want to be rich and be the richest person ever and be a billionaire. Like that's like not how my mind works. So I just wanted to add this in here, and thank you guys again. Like your support with everything like literally means the world to me. So thank you so much. So those are all the things that I would do in another life, or maybe in this life, or maybe in my past life that I'm like interested in. I just feel like it's such a fascinating question to ask people, because I feel like you can learn so much about people through that. So I don't know, ask someone in your life that question this week maybe, or even ask yourself that. What would you do in any life, or in a past life, or in your future? Like what would you do? I just think that's really interesting. So, but I thought this was going to be a quick podcast episode. This has been my longest podcast episode ever. But I will see you guys. Hopefully, you guys gotta pray for me, okay? That I recover from my wisdom tooth surgery. And I don't think I'm gonna be podcasting next Monday. I'm just gonna say like hard no on that probably, because I don't want to, you know, talk with my whatever like wisdom teeth and like irritate them or whatever. But I will see you guys for Pilates, 10 days of Pilates on my TikTok, and then Pilates classes in February, and then probably next Monday we will have another podcast. But seriously, thank you guys. You guys know how much I appreciate you guys. You guys give me a reason to wake up in the morning. You guys give me a reason to live. Thank you guys so much for your support on here, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere, YouTube. I appreciate you so much. You guys give me a reason to wake up every morning, a reason to live, and a reason to literally just a reason to be alive. So thank you so much. I really genuinely appreciate all of you guys for supporting me. It means the absolute world to me. And I hope that you all have a great week. Bye.